YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel on the interweb for all things geeky and cool. We have another action figure we're taking a look at today, guys. This is the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch action figure from Hasbro for Kanan Jarrus. It's a fairly new figure. It came out several months ago. I think the Ahsoka figure came out after that. I could be wrong on that. Of course, Kanan is one of the main characters from the Rebel TV series. What we'll do, we'll get this guy out of package. In our breakdown segment, we'll open it up, take a look at the articulation, take a look at the paint, take a look at the accessories, and see if we really should actually buy this figure. So we'll take a look at that up close and personal. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to our breakdown segment. Okay, guys, we're in our breakdown segment taking a look at Kanan Jarrus out of packaging. But before we do anything, we always take a look at the packaging first. Of course, this is the typical Star Wars Black Series packaging that you can see here, which is a window box. We have the representation of the figure on the side. On this side, we actually have the name of the figure, which is Kanan Jarrus over here. The back gives a little write-up about Kanan, about how he's with the Ghost crew. In case you guys are not familiar with the Rebels TV show, he's basically kind of like the leader of the group when he meets Ezra, his apprentice. Now, let's actually look at the actual figure itself. Now, of course, Kanan is in the 6-inch scale, as you can see here. Great amount of paint on him. He does have this really, really cool shoulder pauldron here, which has like a little skull kind of motif, which is really, really neat. He has this really nice shirt, as you can see here, kind of like this off tan color. Very textured shirt, looks really, really cool. He has kind of a molding here that goes around his shoulder portion, around his chest, which I like. It's really, really cool. He also has this really, really neat holster that comes attached to his leg and is wrapped around. It is secured in place. It will not move, and it's really, really snug, which they did a really, really good job on that. Now, let's actually look at the actual articulation of this figure. Now, this is probably the biggest shortcoming is the head sculpt. I'm not a big fan of this head sculpt. To me, it doesn't say Kanan. He doesn't look like the character in the TV show. I think they could have did a better job on this head sculpt. It's okay, but doesn't scream Kanan to me. Now, as far as articulation goes, you can go down and you can go up with it. There is a little bit of left and right movement, but very, very limited because of this high collar he has here. As far as the arm articulation, he can get his left arm out to a full T, and he has full 360 on it. But the pauldron here on the shoulder does limit some of the articulation, but he can go 360 as well. He does have a single joint elbow, and he has wrist swivel, and it does bend as well, which is really, really nice. He does have a torso crunch, so he can has a torso rocker. Leg articulation is that he can get his legs out to almost like a full, split. He can do a kick. Even with this secured holster in place, you can get a really, dynamic amount of movement out of it. He does have a double jointed knee, as you can see here, double jointed. And as far as the boots go, it's kind of these high riding up boots. Look almost like plates in the boots themselves. I think it's supposed to be black in the show. I could be wrong on that, guys, but I think they are. But they're really high. They go almost up to where his knee is, and he has, of course, knee pads here. Now, the articulation on the feet, you can get a real wide range of motion on the feet here. You can point the feet straight down. You can point them almost straight up. It has a rocker, so it's like you could break the ankle if you wanted to, which is kind of neat. You can get a really amount of dynamic poses out of this character, which I really like. Now, let's look at his actual gear. Let's look at his accessories. First, he has this kind of blaster. Great detail on it. It's kind of a gunmetal, kind of washed out black, so you can see all the detail on the actual gun. It looks really good. He can store it in one of two ways. His right hand has a trigger finger, as you can see here. It's kind of pointed, so you can hold the gun in this hand and get the figure into that trigger. Mine's a little bent, so mine's kind of tricky to get in, and you can get some really cool poses, as you can see. But he can also, and functional, has a holster on his leg, so you can store his weapon. I think the coolest thing about the Kanan figure is that his lightsaber, we'll get to that in a sec, is kind of translucent blue, like off-colored blue. Really well done. But what you can do with it is you break the blade off of it, you take the blade off, which most lightsabers, or pretty much all of them for Hasbro, can remove the blade. But this is the neat part. Here's the actual hilt. Great amount of detail, as you can see. But he actually does this in the TV show. His lightsaber itself comes in pieces, so you can actually detach this top piece, as you can see here. I'll kind of hold it for you guys. And of course, the hilt. And you can store both these pieces on his figure, which is what he does in the TV show. So give me a second, I'll put this on him. There's one piece. And he has a hole here on his belt, which the smaller, the little gray piece here, is designed to fit into, which I think is really, really clever. I'm really happy they actually did that. So then he would look something like this. So you have him holding the part of the saber, as you can see here, and the back portion on his back, which I like that a lot. I like how they actually did that. And while it falls, I like how they actually made it so you can store the saber in its component parts. I thought that was a nice touch to the actual TV show. I'm glad they actually did that. That's a great show of detail. All in all, I think this is a great figure. Besides this sketchy head, I don't like the head sculpt. I think they could have did a better head sculpt. It doesn't show the representation to the figure in Rebels. That's the only shortcoming I would see here. I think great paint, great posability, nice idea of the accessories. I think they did a great job on that. And all in all, guys, I really think this is a great figure. You should actually pick this figure up if you can find it. I believe it has an MSRP pricing of $19.99 if you can find it on your store. You can actually go to Amazon. You might pay a little bit more for that. That'd be the place I would actually go to pick it up. So I hope you like this breakdown segment, guys. We're going to go into our final thoughts. Final thoughts on the Star Wars 6-inch Black Series Kanan Jarrus action figure from Hasbro. I really like this figure. I think they put a great amount of detail, great amount of paint apps. The really cool idea of where you can break the lightsaber down, as we talked about in the breakdown segment, we're into two separate pieces and store them on the actual character, which is a really, really clever idea, and it does fit the actual Rebels TV show where he went into hiding because of the Order 66, and he didn't want to really give off the impression of him being a Jedi. Again, the bad points, as we talked about, is this head sculpt. It doesn't match up to the actual character of Kanan. It looks a little different. The articulation is a little tight on the head, as we talked about in the breakdown. But all in all, I think it's a great figure. It poses really well. Great paint again on this, guys. I really, really hope you like this video. Remember to like, and subscribe to the channel. Again, just as we talked about before, we're still chasing our 250 subscriber giveaway contest, which is, of course, the J. Michael Straczynski's Thor and, of course, Black Widow. So make sure you click that subscribe button, guys. I do hope you do like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.